Hi, and welcome to Great Getaways. Join us today as we take you across Michigan's Upper Peninsula, where quiet shorelines, forested landscapes, and quaint little towns all come together. From outdoor adventure to rich local history, it's a trip filled with natural beauty, with welcoming communities and unforgettable Great Lakes views. Let's get started.
Michigan's Upper Peninsula is a place where wild beauty and rich history come together. Surrounded by three of the Great Lakes, this rugged landscape of forests, rocky shorelines, and quiet inland waters has drawn explorers, adventurers, and storytellers for centuries. Long before modern roads and towns appeared, Native American nations lived throughout this region, relying on its forests, rivers, and wildlife. Their traditions and connection to the land remain an important part of the Upper Peninsula's story today. Over the years, missionaries, miners, fishermen, and lumbermen would also shape the character of this remarkable place, leaving behind historic communities and landmarks that still welcome visitors. Today, travelers come for the same reasons people always have: the natural beauty, the peaceful waters, and the chance to discover something unforgettable. It's also one of the best places in the Midwest to experience wildlife in its natural home. From moose wandering deep in the northern forests to wolves, black bears, bald eagles, and the haunting call of loons echoing across remote lakes, the Upper Peninsula offers a rare glimpse into a landscape that still belongs to the wild. So come along as we explore Michigan's Upper Peninsula, where every road, shoreline, and small town leads to another great getaway.
1/3 of Michigan's landmass belongs to the Upper Peninsula. From the city of Ironwood near neighboring Wisconsin to the shores of Drummond Island in Lake Huron, the UP stretches for 386 forested miles. A great peninsula formed by the three largest of the 5 Great Lakes. There is over 1,000 miles of windswept Upper Peninsula shoreline. But there is more to the Upper Peninsula than just physical size and beauty. History has left its mark here as well. Before the French explorers and missionaries, it was the land of the Chippewa, the Menominee, the Huron, and the Ottawa. Native Americans were here for hundreds or even thousands of years, and relatives of those tribes exist throughout the region today.
Discover Native American history across the Upper Peninsula at tribal museums, cultural centers, and historic sites that share stories spanning generations.
The rugged mountain ranges of the western Upper Peninsula saw the influx of miners from Sweden, Finland, Germany, Italy, and other parts of Europe to mine the newly discovered copper and iron. And through it all, the cultures came together and formed a melting pot in their own right. Yes, much important history was made when fate brought the people and the land together.
Mining was and still is the backbone of the Upper Peninsula.
Sometime in the early 1620s, the Chippewa had their first contact with the white man near what is now Sault Ste. Marie. Etienne Brule was that man and was the first of many French explorers in search of a water passage to the Orient. Father Jacques Marquette, perhaps one of the most influential explorers and missionaries of the day, established missions at both the Sioux and St. Ignace, officially founding St. Ignace in 1671. The St. Ignace area became a strategic outpost as it sat along the northern channel of the Straits of Mackinac and at the western edge of the St. Mary's River Channel. British and French forces eventually built fortifications on nearby Mackinac Island and along the southern shore of the Straits. The effects of the French and English can still be seen on Mackinac Island, where Fort Mackinac stands, her cannons forever guarding the Straits of Mackinac.
High above the harbor, uniformed guards stand watch as iron cannons line the ramparts. A powerful reminder that Fort Mackinac once protected these vital Great Lakes waters.
Today's Mackinac Island is world-renowned for its climate, Lilac Festival, and its ban on automobiles. During your visit, you'll probably eat more than a little fudge, ride in a horse-drawn carriage, and view the famous Grand Hotel. The excitement of visiting Mackinac Island just begins with a ferry ride across the Straits of Mackinac.
Engines up. We're departing Mackinac Island and bound for the mainland.
The Straits of Mackinac is probably best known for the bridge that crosses its turbulent waters. Dubbed the eighth wonder of the world, the Mackinac Bridge has become a symbol of strength and unity between the two peninsulas of Michigan. Completed in 1957, no trip to the UP would be complete without crossing this landmark of modern engineering.
A little-known fact, the Mackinac Bridge's cables are so long they could wrap around the globe almost 3 times.
US 2 is undoubtedly one of the more heavily traveled roads crossing the Upper Peninsula. Fortunately, Lake Michigan flanks the highway for much of its length, giving the traveler a variety of scenic vistas. Highlighting the list of attractions might be the shifting sand dunes, forever changing in response to breezes blowing off of the lake. Lake Michigan can be as placid as a mirror, or it can be pounding the coast with white-capped breakers. Several turnouts allow the traveler to stop and admire the view. Be prepared, however, for the strong temptation to kick off your shoes and run in the sand. The oldest city in Michigan and third oldest in the United States is Sault Ste. Marie, located on the southern shore of the St. Mary's River, a bustling waterway linking Lake Huron and Lake Superior. One of Sault Ste. Marie's major attractions is the Soo Locks, the busiest shipping canal in the world. Hundreds of thousands of visitors line the observation areas each year to watch the giant lake and ocean-going freighters make their ways through the water elevators.
The Soo Locks in Sault Ste. Marie are set to reopen for the spring shipping season, following winter maintenance and upgrades, a vital link in Great Lakes commerce and tourism.
Northwest of Sault Ste. Marie lies Lake Superior, the largest expanse of fresh water in the world. Perhaps no other Upper Peninsula feature commands so much attention. Covering nearly 32,000 square miles, Lake Superior is at once beautiful, awe-inspiring, and formidable. Lake Superior is known as the graveyard of the Great Lakes, and Whitefish Point was often a turning point for downbound ships in distress. Whitefish Point is also home to the Great Lakes Shipwreck Museum. Here, you can learn about many Lake Superior shipwrecks, such as the Edmund Fitzgerald, a 729-foot ore carrier that went down with all 29 men in a fierce November storm.
A large Fresnel lens.
And other fascinating exhibits are on display in the museum.
The Great Lakes Shipwreck Museum at Whitefish Point was first opened in the summer of 1985.
To help prevent disasters at sea, lighthouses were constructed along the lonely Lake Superior coast. Now mostly automated, these lighthouses and light-saving stations were once manned with a breed of men not often found in modern times. In the course of history, the lighthouses and lightkeepers were responsible for the saving of hundreds of lives from the clutches of Lake Superior's icy grasp. Many of the lighthouses can be visited, and some have even been turned into museums and bed and breakfasts.
Get ready to explore one of Michigan's most breathtaking scenic treasures.
Another must-see while in the eastern Upper Peninsula would have to be the 96,000-acre Seney National Wildlife Refuge. A drive-through loop gives the visitor the opportunity to see remote areas of the largest wildlife refuge east of the Mississippi River. Many species of birds and several kinds of wildlife can be found within the Seney Refuge, and recent transplants of trumpeter swans have found the birds doing well in their new home.
With so many ways to explore this scenic wildlife sanctuary, biking becomes one of the best ways to experience it all. A peaceful ride that turns every mile into a true great getaway.
Unusual natural phenomenon seems to be the norm for the UP. Kitch-iti-kipi, or the Big Springs, found near Indian Lake, would surely have to qualify. 200 feet across and 45 feet deep, the spring pumps over 16,000 gallons of crystal clear water from its depths every minute. Visitors will enjoy pulling themselves across the springs on the self-propelled observation raft and possibly see the large trout living at the bottom. Water temperatures remain constant at 45 degrees, winter and summer.
winter at the Big Springs is almost like being in a fantasy land. So don't think that Kitch-iti-kipi is only incredible during the summer. Michigan's Upper Peninsula lies within an area larger than the states of Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, and Delaware combined.
The history of Michigan's Upper Peninsula is really a story of immigration. The middle 1800s saw immigrants from all over the world descend upon the western Upper Peninsula to mine the copper from the rugged mountains of the Keweenaw Peninsula. And although copper left its mark indelibly across the face of the UP, copper wasn't the only mineral that shaped its history. Quite by accident, irregular compass readings in 1844 prompted the search for iron deposits near what is now the city of Negaunee. Huge quantities of ore-bearing rock were found, and like the earlier copper boom, word spread quickly, and soon a great flood of newcomers came for work. Michigan's Upper Peninsula began its 100-year reign as the world's leading producer of iron ore. The small town of Fayette offers another unique glimpse into Michigan's mining heritage. Fayette grew out of the needs of the iron industry. It seemed poised to become a great industrial community, but practically overnight, its fortunes changed, and history dealt it another mission. Today, Fayette is a state park, and the remaining buildings serve to remind us of the fate of the iron legacy.
On the shores of Big Bay de Noc, Fayette Historic State Park reveals the preserved streets of a 19th century iron town.
Although many of the mining boom towns and smelter sites like Fayette have dried up or disappeared entirely, many such towns have gone on to prominence and are home to modern industry and prestigious universities. The prosperity of Marquette County has been built on its natural resources. Iron ore, timber, and the Big Lake were a strong triangle. The vast woodlands and waterways draw outdoor enthusiasts from all over for hiking, camping, fishing, hunting, boating, and kayaking. While many of Marquette County's scenic wonders lie along remote, wave-battered shorelines or deep within the confines of rugged wilderness forests, there is also a place where you can find both, only 10 minutes from downtown Marquette. Located just north of the city of Marquette and along both sides of County Road 550, the Little Presque recreation area consists of over 3,000 acres of pristine sandy beaches, towering pines, and massive rock outcroppings that provide stunning overviews of the entire area.
Out on the edge of Lake Superior, Presque Park gives visitors a chance to slow down, take in the fresh lake air, and enjoy one of Marquette's most beautiful spots.
With terrain that varies from flat and low swampy areas to a mountain range with rocky outcroppings nearly 3 billion years old, Marquette County provides a tremendous playground for the outdoor enthusiast. And considering that the county is dotted with 1,800 lakes and ponds, crisscrossed by more than 4,000 miles of rivers and streams, you can see that the opportunity for fishing and water sports is second to none. Regardless of the season, Marquette County has what you're looking for, and summer is no exception. Whether it's an outing of golf, a boat tour of islands and lighthouses, or a hike in the woods, you can be sure Marquette County is the right place.
For thousands of years, copper has shaped the Upper Peninsula. From Native American tools to booming 1800s mines, this rich mineral helped build towns and was a draw for people to move here.
Although the profitable mining is now largely gone, the remains of copper and iron mining lie in the form of artifacts, museums, and derelict mines. Michigan's newest national park, the Keweenaw Historical National Park in Calumet, celebrates the rich history of copper mining in this region. Mining wasn't the only stage for Upper Peninsula expansion. From From the mid-1800s through the early decades of the 1900s, Michigan's lumbering activity was helping to build the rest of the nation, and the Upper Peninsula was leading the way. From 1834 through 1897 alone, Michigan's Upper Peninsula's pine forests produced over 24.5 billion board feet of lumber, more than any other region in the Midwest. The vast pine forests of the Upper Peninsula was once in such demand that much of the old growth was cut completely. Today, the relationship that exists between the forest industry and the public is a wise one, allowing both sustained timber yields and recreational opportunities for all. Although not high by Western standards, the 60,000-acre Porcupine Mountain Wilderness State Park still has an alpine quality to it. Lying tight to the south shore of Lake Superior, the Porcupine Mountains rear up over 1,900 feet above sea level. 4 lakes, several waterfalls, and high surrounding peaks add to the remarkable impression of high country. The remoteness of the park lends itself well to the wilderness lover by providing a variety of outdoor opportunities. For the hiker, there is more than 90 miles of marked trails in which to explore the Porcupine Mountains backcountry. Several short trails climb to the top of overlooks, providing the day user with breathtaking photo opportunities. Although hiking and wildlife watching are undoubtedly the most popular activities for park users, perhaps the most important contribution the Porcupine Mountains gives the people of the Great Lakes is the majestic old-growth forest. Situated more or less in the center of the park, these primeval woodlands stretch across 55 square miles and constitute the largest remaining old-growth hardwood hemlock forest within the Great Lakes region. Two national forests, the Ottawa and the Hiawatha, provide Upper Peninsula visitors with nearly 2 million more acres of public lands. The Ottawa National Forest is home to many spectacular waterfalls. In fact, waterfalls number in the hundreds all across the Upper Peninsula. And although the rugged western end of the UP is blessed with more than its share, the Upper Tahquamenon Falls in Tahquamenon Falls State Park is the second largest waterfall east of the Mississippi. Like a miniature Niagara in a much nicer setting, the Upper Tahquamenon Falls deserves its lofty place among choice UP attractions. One of the wonderful traits of a waterfall is its never-ending change of moods. A waterfall that may be but a trickle in August could be a raging torrent of whitewater in April. And the late season can be just as dramatic. The waterfall that mesmerized during spring and summer can take on the appearance of an ice sculpture during winter's deep freeze. It's been said that fire and water are two things that man never tires of watching, and we would certainly have to agree. Contained within the Ottawa National Forest boundaries is the Sylvania Wilderness, a 21,000-acre roadless tract of lakes and old-growth forest. Located near the Michigan-Wisconsin border, the Sylvania is for those who don't mind missing the amenities of home. Canoeing and primitive camping are the rules here, and special regulations help protect this highly sensitive area. Hundreds of lakes and pleasant forest campgrounds are just part of what makes the Hiawatha National Forest special. The Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore on Lake Superior is another. Anyone who has witnessed this 40-mile stretch of land and sea can surely attest to its natural beauty. Colorful sandstone cliffs capped with towering stands of maple, birch, and pine meet the deep blue of Lake Superior in all her moods. Great sand dunes forming ramparts against the mighty lake undulate into the distance, creating a rare and lovely landscape befitting the wildlife that makes it home there. And the many waterfalls that are found in the Lake Superior watershed seem to race toward the certain destiny of becoming a part of this massive inland sea. No visit to this part of the Upper Peninsula would be complete without seeing the Pictured Rocks. One of America's most unique national parks uses the Upper Peninsula as its gateway. Accessible by seaplane or boat, Isle Royale National Park is a roadless wilderness archipelago in northwest Lake Superior. The unspoiled forest, wilderness lakes, and rugged lake shores offer a vacation experience unlike any other. A chance to fish true wilderness lakes, sleep under the brightest stars, and the distinct possibility of hearing a wolf howl are just a few of the reasons to visit Isle Royale. Common to all the state and national forest lands of the Upper Peninsula is the wildlife. It's a rare day indeed to not see something that would be considered unusual somewhere else. Eagles can be seen soaring high above the forests, while the haunting cries of loons rise from the surface of a wilderness lake. And even if you don't see them, tracks along old logging roads of the moose, the wolf, and the bear are indisputable proof that they exist in the North Country, and reason enough to appreciate they are there. Whether you're looking for wildlife, waterfalls, lakes, or streams, the state and federal forests of the Upper Peninsula will provide outstanding outdoor opportunities for folks of all ages. From the interpretive, entertaining history of Fort Mackinac on Mackinac Island, to the majesty of Tahquamenon Falls, to the serenity of a wilderness cabin deep in the Porcupine Mountains, these are the lands for the people to enjoy, and they offer their very own legacy, for which we should all take pride.
From rugged shorelines to quiet forest trails, Michigan's Upper Peninsula is a place where adventure meets tradition, and every mile tells a story. We've explored historic towns shaped by miners, loggers, and dreamers, stood where waves crash against ancient rock, and discovered the simple beauty of life lived close to the land. Are it's hiking, paddling, fishing, or just taking in the view, the UP offers something for everyone, no matter the season. Best part? There's always more waiting just around the bend.
So if you enjoyed all the places we went to today and would like to experience them for yourself, you can go to our website at greatgetaways.tv. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.